Morning.
Yeah, it is morning. It is Thursday. You'll have to forgive both of our voices. She made me sick.
I didn't.
She did.
I didn't.
She gave me the cooties. We are live on tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
Today's Thursday, and we're rattling through the room here. The guys are starting to get it ready and starting to shape up all the bottles. It is lovely to see. Again, every month I know I say it, but it is lovely to see. Today I thought this is Irish whiskey, and the reason this is Irish whiskey is this is what the smaller brands bring to it. They bring storytelling, and it's mad when I was picking through the bottles to do today's videos, how much of a timeline of a story they tell. There's so many different bottlings that we're all done. If you swing around Ellen, you'll see it's all about JJ Corry and Louise and the team down in Curraclare, County Clare. But it's mad that the story that they tell, and I'm picking up the bottles and I'm going, oh, that was done for such and such, that was done for such and such, and it is really a reflection of where Irish whiskey has come and how it tells the timeline of what they've done as well, and it's great to see as well. I mean, some of them are, people will know the brands, people know what they were done for. They were done for special editions, all that sort of stuff, special releases. It's great that we have brands like JJ Corry and Two Stacks and WD O'Connell and all these ones that can do these small production runs, small casks, to tell the story along with another brand or something else. And it's lovely. It really is lovely. But a few of them that I picked out, I mean, we'll start on this end over here. You've got the Bonders Blend number 2. Now, the Bonders Blend, I think they're on edition number 4. I seen there as well. But like Bonders Blend number 1 is literally the unicorn of JJ Corry, of those bottles. I think there was 60 of them done or something like that. It's really, really rare. Really, really hard to find. It was on nobody's radar at the time. These 3 bottles here are done in conjunction with our good friend Barry Chandler and the Stories and Sips group. And it's mad how, again, they tell the story of the lock-in. I mean, COVID was happening. You know, Barry started doing the Friday evening videos and telling the story, and it became a thing, and everybody, you know, levitated towards it because it was a bit of escapism of a Friday evening when we were all locked down and we were all insular. I mean, nobody could talk to each other. But he's done things then with Louise, like the Cliffs of Moher whiskey, and I mean, promoting the Cliffs of Moher, God knows Barry doesn't need to do it, or Louise doesn't need to do it,
or the Cliffs of Moher don't need it done.
But it's lovely that there's something there to, you know, to commemorate what they done and what they achieved out there. I mean, they were the first ones to store whiskey out there as well. The story, I mean, again, that's Barry's forte. I mean, he's won Communicator of the Year because he's good at the storytelling. He's great at communicating, but how he brings everybody on the journey with him, and that's what the Irish whiskey does. It is just phenomenal. You've other ones here like the Mezcal one, the O'Reilly, you know, Mezcal, tequila and bourbon, and it was done for Selfridges. Now there's another one there that is done for, I had it in my hand, is it that one? No, not that one. I can't remember now. There was another one of them done for Milroy's. Oh, I mightn't have lifted it. Milroy's of Soho. All of these, you know, whiskey establishments in London that Louise has partnered with, and again to help promote it. There's a funny one here, and I think this is lovely, and I actually, we call this On the Banner for ages and ages, and I remember one day reaching out to, this is actually signed by Eric as well. And Eric was instrumental in creating this blend. I mean, that's what he done. He was there with Louise in and around the beginning, and he was, you know, helping her curate the whiskey, and he was brilliant. I mean, Eric is
lovely lad,
so passionate about whiskey. He started the Ennis Whiskey Club down there. But I remember, you know, ringing him up one day or sending him an email, calling him about, you know, asking him something about On the Banner. He says, what one are you on about? I says, On the Banner. And he says, no, Anthony, that's called the Banner Blend. And I went, sorry, Eric. Be the Jesus. But we know it as On the Banner, and I think there's been a couple of editions of that. That's the summer 2020 one. But again, the story, Eric curating the whiskey, blending the whiskey.
Yeah.
I mean, he was passionate about it. He was, as I say, he was a whiskey fan first and foremost, and then he turned it into his career. The Hansen grain whiskies, I mean, again, I think Louise has been really instrumental in bringing grain whiskies to the fore. People disregard grain whiskies. They just sort of don't think of them to be anything. But anybody who drank that, and is it your favourite?
I got very drunk one night drinking the Hansen while eating Meanies crisps.
And
They
anybody
go
who doesn't
really
know what
well together.
meanies are, Google them.
Oh,
They're a Irish delicacy, for God's sake. It's up there with Monster Munch.
but the Meanies and the Hansen, great pairing.
I remember you telling people about this. This was
Yeah.
great. That I found the perfect whiskey pairing, and you're thinking, yeah, a bit of chocolate or
I think
something.
we were on
ham or something like that.
a call with Tim over in New York.
Was it?
Yeah, and we started early and we finished late.
As is usually the case. Cyber Monday. I mean, again, another one of these done with Irish malts. Irish malts have been really one of the they're like us. I mean, they're one of the new businesses that has grown up with Irish whiskey as we've started to expand. They've been a phenomenon selling whiskey and making whiskey available online. And again, for them to be you've great establishments like the Celtic and JJ Fox's and all that sort of stuff. Johnny Fox's, JJ Fox's, James Fox's,
James Fox.
James Fox, the JJs and the BBs and the DDs and all that sort of stuff. But they only sell online. Irish malts only sell online, and again, that one was a storytelling. Now, here's 3 bottles that I have not seen before.
Ever.
And actually, I'm a wee bit gazumped by them, if the truth be known. So you have the Pig's Elbow, which is a gin done by Corry Clare, Clare Abu written on the top of it. The great thing about Louise as well is the back of all of the bottles all tell the story of how it came to be named, or as part of it as well. This one comes from Old Carrick Mill. That's Stephen, but it's done with JJ Corry, Chapelgate whiskey. But a Pig's Elbow, never heard of it. But these 2 bad boys beside it, these really have thrown me for a curveball. And I've been up talking to Rob about these. So these are unique limited editions that were done as a collaboration between JJ Corry and this Mr. Lion, who is Ryan Chamble Dumban, something like that. He's a talented mixologist, I think is the term.
Okay.
In London and all of that sort of stuff. But they created these, which here's where it catches me. It says Botanical Irish Whiskey, which, if it's infused with anything, it can't be called an Irish whiskey.
No.
And then it says on the bottom, Irish Spirit. It's 42%. It does say that it is an Irish whiskey, and again on the back of it, Louise tells the story of it. The world's most awarded bartender cross paths with JJ Corry, yada yada yada, and they made it, and in all these flavours and things. They were released in the UK market. One of them's called Barbary and one of them's called Birch. I'd be interested to taste it.
Yeah.
Like an infused whiskey spirit, but I just don't know on the technical side whether we can call it
Irish
a
whiskey.
botanical Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
And then the thing behind it. So,
Stop causing trouble.
not going to cause trouble. That's that to say. Don't look at them. Old Tom, I mean, it was done for the Irish Open. You've got the Cross number 1, the Cross number 2. Again, only 90 bottles and only 102 bottles. Great ones. The next one, the Irish Whiskey Freundin, that was done with
Can you remember?
I can't remember her name. In Germany. It's called a Whiskey Freundin, but
It'll come
Irish Whiskey DE, and her name is can't fucking remember. The next one is Girl Power. It's called a Whiskey Thief. It was done to celebrate International Women's Day. With Louise and the 2 ladies to do all the women-y things. Beside it is this, and this is a rarity as well in itself. So this is the Armada. The storytelling continues. This is done in conjunction with the Armada Hotel in County Clare. But these boxes, I mean, have so many different incarnations, and this is the most sought after. the one with the inscription on the inside of the door. The boxes are rustic, I think would be a fair description.
Yeah, they're nice.
The stain, they're lovely. They are of the thing beneath. But they've got the inscription, and is it James Joyce inscription on the inside of the door? I believe, and again, this is one of these urban myths, that there's only about 30 or 40 of them with that inscription done. I remember talking to John in the Armada and asking him the question about it. And
we had loads of them through the auction, and only one or two of them ever had the inscription.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there was some done and there was some wasn't.
Yeah.
And some came with a box, some didn't come with a box, and all that sort of stuff. Dromoland Castle, I mean, another weird one. I remember at the time when that one was released and it came in the bag and the white gloves and the being delivered, and there was awful hoo-ha about the price of it. It was off the reservation. But again, it was where we were. I mean, there was a huge, rush of blood to the head for about the Irish whiskey as well. And then you beside it, you have another banner blend. That says batch number 1 on it. Again, there's so many incarnations. That says batch number 1. This one says summer 2020. You have the battalion, which is the mezcal one, tequila one. Again, tells the story. And then you've beside that got the Gale. And I mean, I know the Gale is a firm favourite for an awful lot of Irish whiskey fans. So, as I said, I think Louise has been brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't think Louise perhaps gets enough kudos for what she's done. I know we were there with her with the Irish whiskey experiences, and she's so passionate and so loves Irish whiskey, and she's brilliant. She's so engaging. She really did hold the room there, and she loves to talk about Irish whiskey, and she loves to tell the story of Irish whiskey, and I think she's done it so well. There's lots others JJ Corrys in this month's auction. Do have a look. If you have any questions on any of them, on stuff that I've missed or mistakes that I've made, ring somebody in the office who might care, because I don't.
You go, girl.
Yes, I'm a strong, independent woman.
That you are.
Yes, indeed. So that's us done. We're back tomorrow, Friday. We're going live tomorrow, Friday. Hopefully, this will all be sorted out, and everybody will know exactly where everything's supposed to be. Or the rest of the staff will. I won't have a clue what's going on, as per usual. It is what it is.
It works better that way.
Works better that way. Until tomorrow, ladies and gentlefolk, au revoir.
Bye.